Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities, and welcome back to another series review. And I thought that we would use today as an opportunity to move on to the series of none other than Daredevil. In the spirit of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I thought where better to pick than Matt Murdock. Lawyer by day, vigilante by night. Matt Murdock is a guy who, when he was younger, essentially lost his sight due to an accident when a giant tanker pretty much goes over and his eyes get burned out due to the spillage setting alight. Now, over the years, Matt has learned to adapt with the loss of his sight with the help of a man named Stick. Now, for anyone who remembers Stick, Stick is a character who is famously known for teaching many different superheroes to be able to defend themselves. Think of him as the Ip Man to their origin stories. Matt has a best friend named Foggy, and essentially the pair of them by the daytime decide to go into studying law. After finding out that a woman has been caught in the crosshairs of an absolutely horrendous crime, they make it in their best interest to try and help her get out of a sticky situation. However, their vigilantism doesn't stop there when Matt decides to take on the persona of Daredevil. Matt goes round what he calls Hell's Kitchen and essentially beats up mobsters and their goons throughout the night. However, his biggest target is none other than a man known as Fisk. Now, if you remember Fisk, it's most probably because you're thinking back to the fact of the time when we mentioned William Fisk in the Spider-Verse film review. Now, this is very relevant because, of course, he is one of the massive adversaries in the Daredevil series. If you read any of the comics, Matt has a tendency to constantly cross paths with him. Pinkin / William Fisk is one of, if not the most notorious mobsters in Hell's Kitchen. However, we do learn one interesting fact as we get into the origins of a lot of characters throughout the Daredevil series. William Fisk was not always as brutish as he has become. He was a man with a very open heart when he was a youngster. However, after an incident with his father going ballistic after losing his rally, Fisk decides to kill his father in cold blood and hide the body. Ever since that day, he has become a notorious gangster who seems to have power over the underworld. People constantly want to work with him, and he can pay anyone to pot off any superhero who decides to get in his way. Across the course of the Daredevil series, Matt makes it quite clear to a lot of the people around him he doesn't care if he gets hurt, so long as people are safe. So, Daredevil. What do I give this series out of 10? Honestly, it's a solid 10 out of 10. I love Matt Murdock's character. I loved him in the comics, and I especially love Charlie Cox's version of him on the series. I feel like he embodies everything that makes Matt Murdock so interesting in the comic books. And even though there have been a couple slow episodes throughout the series, I definitely feel like the pace begins to pick up when we get to his aims and his ambitions, and that is why I give it a 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next series review. Until then, stay beautiful, you beautiful people.